I've been dreaming about this my whole life. And the challenge, gold. It's the biggest treasure that's never been found.
5 billion, easy.
So when do we start?
Yeah, put that in your ear.
Hello? Hello?
I can hear you. I'm sitting right next to you.
Mark, how are you doing today?
Hi, how are you, sir?
I'm really good. Such a pleasure to talk to you again. I was recently talking to Tom, and he was telling us a story about how he successfully got the crew kind of drunk halfway through the shoot because he was a barman for one of the scenes and was making actual real-life cocktails for everyone. Did you get to partake in any of that?
I did not. I'm one of the responsible people on this film. I was finished shooting that day a little bit early. He had some additional stuff that they had to shoot. So I went to my hotel and I made sure that I went to bed so I could get up and train the next day and be ready to perform the next day. Tom and I did have a couple of dinners where we went out and had a few drinks, but for the most part, I was kind of on my health kick during the movie. But next time I see him, I'll drink him under the table.
Oh, absolutely. I don't doubt it. Like, would there be a particular cocktail of choice for you? Like, what would be Mark's go-to when he's
I would have to say, I mean, if we're having dinner, we'll start off with some red wine, and then we'll have some tequila, some Flecha Azul, and then I'm gonna put them down with the Irish whiskey.
Well, yeah. I mean, that's what we're good for. We are good for the Irish whiskey.
Well, it's good for many things, but that's one.
In particular, yeah. I was also chatting to Tati, and we were talking about your kind of one-on-one fight scene with her and just the kind of brutal physicality of it. And I think people really enjoy, obviously, the huge stunt set pieces that this film is full of, but you can also kind of feel like that, almost like a John Wick like realism in those fight scenes. Like, do you like going back and forth between those two different kind of set pieces yourself?
Oh, absolutely. You know, Sully's always trying to avoid any type of physical altercation or any kind of, just anything that's going to, potentially put him at risk or deter him from the big task, which is finding the gold. So he's always smart enough to put Tom or anybody else, his character, to task and make them do all the heavy lifting while he kind of just hobbles around. But that kind of fight is where he can be most successful, even though he's not the skilled kind of martial arts guy. He's more of like a kind of blunt force, trying to overpower people. But Tati's amazing. She really is an actual full-blown martial arts expert. So I didn't want to mess with her too much, but we were friends, so she went easy on me.
Well, that was nice of her.
Yeah.
Considering like there was like people have been talking about making this movie for so long, and you yourself were directly kind of related to it like 10, 15 years ago. From, I guess, the first time you were approached all that time ago to now, like aside from playing a completely different character, I guess, what do you think maybe the biggest difference is between the movie that you're in now to the movie that was originally pitched to you back then?
Kind of like the way in. I mean, the game itself has continued to mature. There have been multiple games since I was attached to play Nathan Drake. And it was always about finding the way in. So you wanted to make sure that you were satisfying the diehard gamers, right? I mean, these characters are beloved, and it's their world, it's their story, and then also attracting a whole new audience that may not be into the game, both parents and children alike. It really is a movie for everybody, and so I think kind of introducing them being a little bit younger and then kind of growing into the characters that the diehard gamers know and love was a very kind of smart way into it. So you were able to take a little bit of license, but then you obviously had to make sure that you were honoring what the gamers had created, and then just finding that balance. But I take on that responsibility very seriously. I know how beloved these characters are. For me, it's like doing one of these great true stories that I've done, where you have to make sure you're doing people justice, and I wanted to make sure that happened here as well.
Magnificent, Mark. Thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you, sir. Look forward to seeing you in person next time.
Yes. Well, you're always welcome back in Ireland, because we had that Daddy's Home 2 event with yourself and Will.
Yeah, I'm coming in the summer. I'll be shooting in Europe and in the spring and the summer. So I'm coming. I've got a couple of things planned in Ireland. So I'll be excited to come.
Fantastic. Well, you let me know and I'll be there with the Irish whiskey.
Thank you, but I appreciate it.
This ain't over. Hey, you still with me? Barely.
What's with the cat?
She's just for you.
What?
Life seems super sad.
I'm not gonna keep this thing.